That's the business.
It's ground level exposure. Ground level exposure. Ground level exposure. Yeah, dogs, I like that.
Yeah, man, I was saying some mic check.
Yeah,
but
I like to throw it up there for deep. Yeah, man. Listen here, we doing this. Yeah. Team players. AK players.
Clean your team.
If you wanna wall out, I'm an orangutan with the heat, man. Came from the street, man. Bang on the beat. Come from a place some ain't got a bang on their feet. And some brothers put rocks together like Hope and Dame in the street to see the pain of defeat. Nothing sweet coming up from the bottom. Knowing all this could change in a week. Hustle game with no sleep. Keep on forking all of the bread. Since I'm hungry, have them do the same with the meat. I'm way past the punchlines. Punks wanna push, it's crunch time. Hustle looking more like lunchtime. I ain't a star. Watch it with the 16 bars. You bought it, you might get surrounded by 16 cars. You haven't heard Havoc yet. Hell up in Harvard for the slightest we spark it. I'm what's poppin', clap addicts, ratchet sets, respect a full-blown bird. I'm a 5-star general, you heard? If you haven't heard, call it production, I call it pushing a couple of buttons. You call it thugging, I call it shoveling in the bar. Once your team's up, you feel like cleaning up, and this is what it sound like. And this is what it sounds like. Call it production, I call it pushing a couple of buttons. You call it thugging, I call it shoveling in the bar. Once your team's up, you feel like cleaning up, and this is what it sound like. Brothers know you love. Listen, I'm basing my life, bare bone philosophy. Before you can get on my one C, you gotta watch me. Way I walk ain't got nothing to do with being cocky. I'm just calling from some kinked up, old carbon copy. Hockey still comes through, sticking up the party. Beanie macking everything straight, state property, man. All they got G-Unit on their brain. Bucking the 7 for banking, needing 50 for the game to push. Yeah, yo, I don't know if you say so. I ain't heard of a hustler from Harvard with a halo. Even young gunners become professional plumbers. Putting their wicked pipe work, taking out the light work. Listen up the way, boys and dogs, the type to make them walk the hall. Up the pay, they pinch the raw. Put it in a script for y'all, cause a hit wasn't shiznick for us to call. You call it production, I call it pushing a couple of buttons. You call it thugging, I call it shoveling in the bar. Once your team's up, you feel like cleaning up, and this is what it sound like when brothers show you love. Call it production, I call it pushing a couple of buttons. You call it thugging, I call it shoveling in the bar. Once your team's up, you feel like cleaning up, and this is what it sound like when brothers show you love. Simple discussion to subliminal mental abduction. The gluttons got nothing on the way I do a production. So when I rock my third eye zone, you can't clone a cyclops leaving your cover blown like a cyclone. Play calm, thoroughly drop bombs like psalms, regardless of level they on. Hit 'em up with napalm, consistently discourage your pagan belief in infantry. Off the wall like a legacy of ancient calligraphy. Born spitting reality on rhythm you hear, but can't listen you see, but can't vision you speak. While amphibians got 'em spitting venom by life without living. Carrying on shaitan tradition, wake up, take up slack from all those claiming they had your back. In front of when they had the act as a matter of fact. I'm past your cap, meaning I'm beyond this. You can't kinda conscious. You call it production, I call it pushing a couple of buttons. You call it thugging, I call it shoveling in the bar. Once your team's up, you feel like cleaning up, and this is what it sound like when brothers do it loud. You call it production, I call it pushing a couple of buttons. You call it thugging, I call it shoveling in the bar. Once your team's up, you feel like cleaning up, and this is what it sound like when brothers do it loud. Ground level, that's it, right? Ground level. Ground level exposed. You like that? That was a trip. AK serious. But listen here, bare bones. This is what we do. Official heat. You know what I'm saying? We got don't forget it, baby. Put it in your pocket. You can cash it. This one here, it won't bounce. You heard me?
You know what I mean? That's what it is.